Most women want their foundation and their concealer to stay in place all day long. And that is what we are going to take care of today. But right quick, the first woman who comes to your mind right now, tag her in this video and share this out. I'm going to do the same thing right now so we can have people jump on. And then let me know when you're here so I can say hi. And we are going to get started. And especially in the, hey Heidi, hey Monica. So especially in the summertime when it's hotter outside and there's more humidity in the air, foundation and concealer are, one of the few things, the first things to shift and to move. And we don't want that to happen. So there's a couple of things we're going to do to get it to stay in place. Again, I'm going to share this out one more time. The first person who comes to your mind, tag her and share this. And now we are going to get started. So the first step, and I already have it on because it's best if it takes just a few minutes just to let it set. The first thing is primer. Primer will do wonders for your foundation and the application of it. Hey Kelly, so what primer is going to do is it's going to help fill in any unevenness on your skin, and it's going to help your foundation to lay smoother, so you're going to get a more flawless finish. It also gives something for your foundation to stick to. So as the day progresses and the natural oils come back into our skin, the oil can make foundation break apart and shift and move. But if you have a primer, it's blocking your skin and the oils on your skin from your foundation. So this acts as of that blockage of that oil. So your foundation sticks to the primer, not the oils in your skin. So your foundation is going to lay smoother and it's going to last longer just by having primer. I already have this on. It's been setting for a couple minutes, so it's ready to go. Hey Angie, it's been setting, so it's ready to go, and now I am ready to put my foundation on. All right, I'm using our Liquid Touch foundation because it's the best foundation. You cannot beat the coverage of this foundation with the weightless feel that this gives you. You just can't. It's not out there. Open it up. Squeeze out what's in the eyedropper and shake it up again. And also, any order that has liquid foundation in it gets free shipping. So, bonus right there. And I like to apply my foundation with a brush. If you like a sponge, that's fine, whichever method you like to do. Usually though, when you are using a sponge, you're supposed to be using it damp. So just make sure you have it damp. I'm going to put 5 drops here, and then, hey Diana, and then I'm just going to pat this all over my face, and then I'm going to just blend it in. So let me know which primer you use in the comments. Just let me know. Just type them out. And this goes on as a liquid, but it has a powder finish. And one of the awesome things about this foundation is that the coverage of it is customizable. So if you need to put on more coverage in some areas and less in others, you can do that. Absolutely. And once it has dried and finished, you can go back over it. Layer your coverage, you get more coverage, and you still have that weightless feeling all over your face. Just make sure you get it along your jawline here. And summertime also, people usually get more sun, because it's summertime. But what they may or may not realize is that like their shoulders, their neck, their chest, they might be getting more sun on those areas, but maybe not as much on their face. And a lot that can be largely part to if your moisturizer has an SPF in it, you're protecting your skin, which is awesome, but your face isn't going to be as dark, but you might need a darker color foundation, even though
the foundation you're currently using might match your face, but it doesn't match your neck. You want to match it to your neck, especially in the summertime. If your neck is darker, because this is getting more sun, but you're protecting your face, you just want to go a shade darker for your foundation in the summer. Okay. So, foundation applied. Now, with the concealer. Hey, Nick. With the concealer can serve several purposes, and we're going to go over two of those today. One is it can obviously conceal like blemishes and under eye and dark circles and discoloration underneath your eyes. That's probably the most commonly known use of concealer. Another use of concealer is for highlighting. There are certain areas that you highlight on your face to draw attention to your eyes so people focus and look you in the eye when you're talking to them. So I'm going to kind of go over both, and then how to, let's get this turned around, how to set this so it stays in place all day and your coverage stays all day long. So when you are wanting to cover blemishes, then you really are just going to be concealing. You want to use a concealer that is the same color as your skin. And you can put the if you're just going to be concealing, you can put it on before your foundation, or you can put it on after your foundation. Obviously, I just put my foundation on, so it's going to be going on after. And I'm just going to take a little drop. And this here is a cream foundation. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to warm it up on my fingers. And doing this will, hey Paul, doing this will help you, it'll help the product go where you want. It's already warmed up, so you won't have to use as much to get the same amount of coverage. I just have a little bit there. And then just blend. And just blend that out. Wherever you need coverage. I've got a little discoloration underneath my eyes, and when I'm applying product underneath my eyes, use your ring fingers. Most people have heard that, but everybody knows that, your ring fingers are the weakest finger, and since this is such a delicate, gentle area of your face, you want to be extra careful and delicate when you are applying product there. Okay. If that's all you were going to do with your concealer, the next step is for you to get your concealer to stay in place, lock it in all day long. You need setting powder. This is a translucent setting powder, and all you do is you take your powder. Ours is awesome. It's got this little, let's see if I can get the lighting. You can kind of tell. It's got this mesh right here, and that just helps keep the product in. So like if you were to spill this over, or like your kids were to come in and like dump it over, not that that's happened to me or anything before, but it helps from keeping your product just dump out. That's there. And also it keeps you from getting too much and loading too much on your brush. So you just take your brush, dip it in, okay, take off a little bit of the excess, and then here's how you're going to apply it. You are not going to swipe or brush or swirl. You are going to pat. So I just put it right here underneath my eyes, so I would look up and just pat that right underneath my eyes. And I'm not going to worry about if there's any extra. I'm not going to worry about that right now because I want this to set. It's going to set my concealer and it's going to make it stay. If you don't have a brush, you can use a makeup sponge, and it's the same thing. You just apply, get the sponge, and again, just load some up on your sponge, and again, just right up underneath your eye where you put that concealer, you want to apply the setting powder just all over, and that is going to put your concealer in place. You want to stay there. Now, if you get oily in your T-zone throughout the day, you can take a little bit, and you should be taking a little bit of your setting powder, however you want to apply it, with your sponge or with a brush. Like if you need to, if you have like smaller areas you need to get into, then I would actually recommend this, or if you have a really small brush, and then go back in and press. Like usually the nose is what is the most commonly to get shiny throughout the day. Just press it. Wherever you get shiny, wherever you need a little more shine control, just press it, use it wherever, usually the T-zone, right through here, down the nose, the chin, maybe a little bit on your cheeks, not so much, some people, but not so much. Just dab wherever you need a little bit of oil control throughout the day. There's no color to this, so regardless of, you know, if you go up a shade in your foundation, there's no color to this. It's translucent. So you don't have to worry about having to change colors and things like that. So your setting powder is the key to making your concealer stay locked in place all day long. So we talked a little bit about concealing with concealer. Now we're going to do a little bit of highlighting with concealer. When you are highlighting with concealer, you want to go 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin color. So if you like to highlight and contour in the summer, but your skin is darker, then you would base it off of your current foundation color. So let's say you are velour in the winter and fall. You would use, you know, probably scarlet to highlight and contour. But if you use a darker shade like taffeta in the summer, then you maybe want to use velour. Whoops. Sorry, did not mean to drop you guys. Sorry about that. Then you would want to use velour to highlight and contour. You always base it off current shade, but if you want to highlight, you go lighter on your concealer. So this is not the right shade. This is lighter. This is what I'm going to go with right now. I'm going to put a pen-sized dot, it does not take much, on the back of my hand. And I'm going to take a cream shadow brush. And again, same concept when you're applying your concealer, regardless of whether it's for concealing or highlighting, you still want to get it warmed up so you have, it just places it better. So I'm just going to warm this up on the back of my hand and just kind of spread it out back and forth. Now, most highlighting happens underneath the eye and right here in your forehead, on like right down the center. So, hey Lay. All right, so you take your concealer. This is just for highlighting. This is not concealing. This is for highlighting. Go down to your cheekbone and all the way back. And then draw that out. Hey Rick. Go down your cheekbone and all the way back. Gone, ladies, are the days where you just had the circles underneath your eyes. You're going to make an upside down triangle. Pick up a little more and you're going to make a little sunburst on your forehead. And all of this is with concealer. So if you're already using concealer to conceal, just get a different shade and for your highlight. Down the bridge of your nose, on your chin, right here along your cheeks, underneath the hollow of your cheeks, not right on your cheeks, but under, not your jawline, right above your jawline in that hollow. And then you also want to go right above your eyebrow. Okay. Now I personally like to blend this with a sponge. I think it just gives it a flawless, perfect, awesome finish. But again, your sponge needs to be a little damp. So I'm just going to take some rose water, get that damp, and I'm just going to blend that out. You can use a brush as well. I'll do that on the other side so you can see. And this is going to highlight. And then after you highlight, you're going to go back in and contour so your face isn't it's not overly whited out. You need to go and put some depth back into your face. Once you've evened out your skin tone with your foundation and you've highlighted, you have to go back in and add depth to your face, or you're just going to look like a washed out mess. Okay. And just go over and over and over and over and over and over and over until it's blended in. And then we'll go over with some contour, and then we'll set it again. Hey Michelle, how was your trip? And then just put this in here. Okay, so wherever you put your concealer is where you want to put your setting powder, because it's going to lock it in place. So, and I'm kind of out in my, so I'm just going to take it and I'm going to tap it upside down a little bit. And I've got fresh product in there, but it's not too much, and it doesn't, spill out all over the place, because you don't want to waste product. We don't want to do that. Again, when you're using your setting powder, you're just going to dab. You're not going to swipe, you're not going to wipe, and you're not going to swirl. You're just going to dab, and just where you put your concealer. So just right over the areas that you highlighted is where you're going to place that setting powder. Okay. You are set. Your concealer is set. But now we're going to go back in and do some contouring and put some dimension and some warmth back into your face. This is our bronzer. I'm just going to get on my brush. I'm going to go over my jawline and create that shape and come down onto my neck just ever so slightly. I'm going to get more. I'm going to go on the very tip of my forehead here. So let me know, you're just now jumping on, or even if you're watching the replay, let me know what primer you use. Okay. And now, hey Lindsay, thank you. So sweet. All right, and now I'm going to take the bronzer and I'm going to apply it to my cheekbones and create some If you don't have cheekbones, this is how you create and carve out cheekbones on your face. And this is how you can also contour your nose and kind of reshape your nose and to make it look here more slimmer. You are too sweet, girl. Are you on your way to work? Here's your cheekbone. You want to do right up under, not the hollow, right up under your cheekbone. That's where you want to apply your contour. And now you've got a cheekbone. Other side on your break. Well, thanks for hanging out with me on your break. So now you've got cheekbones, and now you're going to create more of a nose. Definition of a nose. Defined nose. There we go. Definition of a nose. Okay, down this side. And however far apart or close together you place your contour is going to make your nose look wider or thinner. So if you want to slim down your nose, then just put your contour a little closer together. Taking that sun bronzer. Awesome! And then I put a little bit on the underneath side. So now I've put that depth and that warmth back into my face after I've highlighted. And I'm going to put a little bit of blush so it's not just high and low. Got a little bit of color Put a little bit of color on those cheeks. Okay. And smile. Foundation and mascara 99% of the time. Girl, mascara is life. Mascara is life. Okay. So there. Now we have, and you know what? The best place or the biggest impact where your highlight and contour is going to have effect. Like if you look in pictures and you see everybody's face, those just kind of like one dimensional. But when you're highlighted and you're contoured, like you stand out, you've got dimension and your features are more accessible. Yes, it is, Lindsay. Mascara is life. If there's anything I'm going to wear when I walk out the door, it's gonna be mascara. You better believe it. All right. So we're finished. Or are we? Are we finished? We've gone through everything. There's one last step, and this locks all of it in. Your concealer, your foundation, your blush, even your lipstick, your eyeshadow, everything gets locked in with this one last thing, and that is setting spray. Okay, so I live in Texas where it's hot and humid, and you sweat and you just flee to air conditioning, right? Especially in the summertime. So this is essential. This is awesome. And I have found, especially since I wear a powder blush, it can, wear or wipe off easily, but not with this on it. Everything is staying in place all day long with this. Okay, you're taking the time and the energy to apply it. Like, why would you not make sure it stays in place? Exactly. When you fix your hair, you put the product in it. You put the mousse, the gel, you curl, you spray, then you put your hairspray in it, so all of that stays. This is what this does for your makeup. It sets it, it puts it in place, so it stays all day long. Setting spray is key. Awesome. Thanks, Lindsay. You have a good day too, girl. All right, this you have to shake up. You put it about 8 or so inches. Awesome. And it sets. And your makeup is locked in all day long. It really is fantastic, especially if you are in hot and humid places. Like, setting spray is awesome. So, if any of the primer or the setting spray or the foundation or the concealer, if any of that sparks the tiniest bit of interest to you, type VIP in the comments below. You want to be in my VIP group today. So it is Crown of Beauty VIP. It is a secret private group. You can't get in unless you're added. So add that, and we would love to include you in there. And you want to be in there today, especially if any of these face products sparked even just the tiniest bit of interest to you. So thank you for liking and sharing this video. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. If you're watching the replay and we're not friends on Facebook, you can follow and like me on my personal page or my business page, which is Crown of Beauty. So again, make it a fantastic day. You're awesome, and we will see you soon.